10:11. The first night of spring, and I need to get back at home because my battery is at 33% and it's dying right now. Luckily, or blissfully, there's not much traffic. Well, because it is getting late, but it was like this earlier too. So, after that car accident, let me just see y'all when I actually get back to the house. I wouldn't be surprised if I see another car accident on my way back, honestly. And okay, good, right? Good. And apparently someone out here is homeless. Oh boy. I don't want to bother them. And is he walking? Okay, I thought he's walking to a green light. Because the thing is, the car is going to turn right. He needs to be careful. He's gonna, I swear, if he gets hit, I don't want to see another accident and someone getting run over with a hit and run. How to make it to the street of death. Okay. Okay, I'm still walking. Oh damn it! This is still. Is it? Am I still capturing on camera? Crap! Hold on. Embarrassing. I thought I'd turn it off. Sorry, I had to shut it very quick. I love her outfit. It's like she's like a cow and she has an umbrella. But yet again, it's not raining. Anywho. Excuse me. Oh, I made it back. Okay. Here we go. Oh. Sorry, because I try to view like too much of where I live, and I really deeply respect for the people that don't. If you probably do know where I live, not minus the 4 boys, definitely just keep that private. And our nearest cactuses, right? I still like to show off the neighborhood, but this is not exactly where we live. That's private. Okay. My battery is dying. It's probably like a 28% by now. My brother must have went to work. Yeah, he did. Okay. I got my groceries. Oh, let me clean the lens. 29%. I should be fine. Okay. I'll probably change it. American Dad is on right now. Sorry, I'll get straight to the topic. Oh, it's Bob's Burgers. Okay, that's fine. Commercial. Oh, Jedi Survivor. Okay. So it's been an hour and 13 minutes if I actually counted. I mean, it's an estimate of the car accident that I've witnessed. Right? It happened so fast. I was just shocked. I didn't know what to say. Like, literally, hearing it between the black kid and... I know I got that on camera. I'm too nervous to actually look back on that video because it was really tragic. The African boy is fine. He didn't have any severe injuries, if I actually got that correct. And the officer, it was so funny. It just went so quick. He basically, was talking to me seriously, right? Or crucially. Of what did you see? And I just told him that I basically saw both the cars colliding because I think the black Kia was, I think it was going straight down or from that direction. It was hard to tell. It was going straight down because I was about to rock and it hit that, I think it looked like a Toyota, the smaller car, right? Of the African boy that basically gotten a little injured. Okay, nothing extreme because he basically spun out the other side. Like he just, not like spitting out, like how you're playing the Own It stage from Smash Brothers in a way of how if you actually get hit by one of the cars, they would basically just spin out, right? It was like that. Well, it wasn't exactly like that, but basically he actually hit in the corner and someone actually must have reached out to his aid and making sure that he's okay because he was lying on the ground. And I never got that close to, a car accident because I know sometimes I want to say I have a couple. Well, I think because of how I got doxxed in the past, I do have somewhat copiaphobia. It's like a fear of police officers, really common, I'm sure. But basically, if you saw the smoke from the African boys let's just say black Toyota, right? Basically, that literally happened like 3 minutes after I witnessed it. I was in shock, and I wanted to actually delete the other videos when I was walking before this incident. And, basically that boy that's a subscriber of mine, the one that I basically have met at Target, along with that, tall white girl with her, Siberian Husky, I forgot her Husky's name. Basically, that was the same boy from that night, right? And his friend and I witnessed it, and they talked to the officers, and I did. I hope I didn't give him a hard time because it was a lot. They didn't ask for like my ID or anything, and I don't even have one, so I'm glad they haven't though, or my number because I wasn't really involved. I was just a witness, right? Just seeing what happened, right? And basically, like Deon, how can you say this? The reason why you probably noticed that the people that were collided in that accident, they didn't want to be taken to the hospital. I need to share this because a lot of people need to know us about how corrupted our American country is, right? Or how corrupted the United States can be. Basically, I think I wasn't paying attention. I was just in shock. I was just, trying to be as subtle as possible and just not basically like asking any questions unless the police would ask me to, because I know a lot of people like to be rude to police sometimes or making jokes. I don't do that. That's not how I was raised, right? Plus, I guess I was, well, it depends who you talk to, I suppose, right? But nothing bad happened, and then the officer said, you're free to go and have a good night, and, because they had this to take care of, right? So I hope I didn't waste their time. Because, like, Deon, you have it. You basically witnessed what happened, even though it happened so quickly. And that's why you saw all that debris on the ground and the smoke from the car, right? But the reason why I might need to charge this phone because it's at 26%. I think I should be fine. The reason why we don't want to actually go to the hospital for any injuries, because I think I kind of noticed a pattern. Like if you're in an accident or if you may have like a drug overdose. I still remember that incident when I had this, I think she was Navajo or Apache, woman that basically immediately asked me for help because, and he looked like he was Navajo, right? Native American, if that makes sense. Man that was basically dying on fentanyl overdose, right? And I was panicking because I don't know what the hell happened. This basically happened the same night after I got falsely accused of, being of shoplifting at that Walmart, right? At Christown. That's why I don't go there anymore. Because, I don't know, it still messes me up to this day. Hard to believe it happened back in July. The first day of July, 8:50, right? Basically, the Navajo man, he didn't want to ask to, to have help from the paramedics or having the ambulance because if you do, you ought to pay like 100 bones, right? aka $500, just to be inside the vehicle. And not to mention, if you basically need like IV or any other type of like maybe medication or something, I don't know much about hospitals though, right? I've been to 2 of them. The Boston Hospital in Christown, not a great hospital. Airhead, much better, which I'll be explaining shortly. The hospital bills, from what I could tell, is really expensive. I think from that video of how that Vietnamese woman in Houston, the mother of 3, that's 44, that got robbed, and basically, I guess it's almost attempted murder at that point, she actually had to pay like maybe like over like 100 grand on hospital bills because of her injuries. And this is what I hate about being an American, honestly. And yet again, I got two. Oh, oh, there it is. It's below the TV, right? And that big flag back there. Yes, I think I got both of those at the 99 cent store. I think I love our American flag, but the thing is that our country's corrupted when it comes to healthcare or medical care, if that makes sense. And that's why when you see so I'm like stressed out and anxious. That's probably why I'm making these weird, like, I guess you could say tics, right? How can I say this? We just don't want to actually go to the hospital or whatever. I think that's part of why, like it's so weird. It happens so quickly. The car accident. You may not believe me. That's totally fine. But like it's kind of like I wonder if it's like that South Park episode or something, or I forgot episode from like some cartoon that when the police arrives and then make sure that everyone's okay, and then next thing you know, after they clear out the debris of the car accident or something, they just leave. Like, it happens so quick. It doesn't take us hours, right? It takes us like 15 minutes. I never seen a car accident like ending so quickly. Like they moved. I'm guessing those two officers, right? Because one of them that talked to me, right, in that video. They pushed that Kia to the side. I seen them doing that, and then I turn over to check on the paramedics, right? They left, and then the police cars, they left. And they clean it up, and it's as though nothing has ever happened. It was that quick. It just goes to show you that, who knows, maybe in front of her house, while I'm asleep, there was a car accident, and I just couldn't hear it, because I was asleep, right? It probably could happen like 5 in the morning for Buddha, who knows? Or maybe like 2 in the afternoon, right? And I'm thinking that's why they just left. Like the ones, because I think it was that black woman, and I'm not sure if that was like her husband or something. I don't know what the heck happened, because it happened so quickly. Because I know, besides the African boy that was injured, right? I'm guessing he didn't ask for help, because otherwise he would have gotten into the ambulance, to the, like, a Boston hospital, because it's nearby. And I think he rejected the offer. I don't know what happened exactly, because I don't want to like be like involved, and just making, the police upset or something, even though I'm not doing anything, right? I was just wondering what's going on. I mean, it's a basic human instinct, right? But that is the problem with this country, because when we have, like, injuries, we had to pay, like, grants of money just to be in a hospital. I find it ridiculous, because I think I read, like, in France, or maybe in Germany, or hell, Denmark, if you basically got in a car accident, right, you don't have to worry about paying for anything. Or if you basically got injured, you don't have to pay for anything. However, out here in the United States, our medical care is so corrupted that we would have to refuse for help. Like, let's just say the paramedics, they ask you if you needed like an IV shot or something like that. You would say no, because you don't want to have like a medical bill, if that makes sense, right? And for my mom and I, when we were at Arrowhead, this is where I want to talk about, because I did met a boy on Instagram. This is like years back, right? Because he was 19, he was kind of tall, he was slim, he wore glasses. I think he was Hispanic, right? Because he did that yoga stuff. I just found it really attractive, right? And I'm not kidding. I walked from where we lived in our old townhouse to Deer Valley. That was practically 11 miles in like 110-degree heat just to meet him. I don't know what the heck I was thinking. Like, Deon, you were, like, are you that lonely? Yes, I was. And there's no shame in that. Were you obsessed? Well, I wouldn't say obsessed, but, you didn't have anyone to hang out with. And I literally watched my darn skeletal tail, right? Like, my body and everything, just to meet him, right? Like, my butt did this, my butt just had to work all of its way just to meet him. And next thing you know, I had kidney failure, and he actually had to call 911 because I was dying of heat stroke and dehydration, right? I was having, I can't explain, it's called hypothermia, or is it hyperthermia? I get it mixed up. Hyper, like for, like, hot, right? It's when you basically are suffering from heat exhaust. You know, like, you're just too hot, right? And then hypothermia is when you're freezing to death. So the paramedics actually, you know, came or arrived. It didn't take them long. Like, it does not take long, you know, just to call, like, for 911 or something. It does not take long. Like, that car accident that happened, like, a little over an hour ago, it took them, like, 2 minutes. It happened so quick. Like, maybe 2 to 4 minutes. Like, what the heck? I know it was really fast, right? Literally, this is what happens when I don't have... The reason why I like to document so much is because in my neighborhood, so much could happen in just within like 3 miles, right? You might as well just say, if I live in the Vatican, oh, who knows? There might be like a stabbing, or there might be like a little earthquake. You never know, right? How much time I got left? Okay, my battery's at 20%. I got 9 minutes. Perfect. So, basically, back to the incident when I met that boy, right? I don't remember his name, though. I remember he actually blocked me, and I felt really hurt because I risked my life just to meet him. I know that was a little bit too much, but I was so lonely, and I even told him I wouldn't mind meeting him up later, right? So he could at least maybe, I don't know, like, take me to his house and visit. I know that seems weird, but I asked him, right? And he said he was okay. He okay with it, so I don't know. People like to change their minds at the last minute. It's not okay, though, but unless there's an emergency. But the thing is that when I went to the Arrowhead Hospital in Deer Valley, really nice, by the way, and I was in the single floor, right? It sucks I didn't go out it's on camera, because, I mean, well, my phone was dead. That's one thing. And two, I mean, it was a crazy experience even going to a different hospital for the first time. And three, well, I don't know. It's just, you're dying, period, right? Because one of the paramedics says, yes, your kidney was failing. It's probably like my left kidney, I think. And I'm surprised I'm still here, right? And I told my mother what happened, and she wasn't freaking out or anything, because I think because I called her, that's probably why. So she knows in advance. And she told us that since I don't work. Well, okay, one of the nurses, they told me that since I don't work because I'm still a guardian of my mother, right? And plus I live with my older sibling. He pays for our house, right? I have assets, which is basically this plan that if you are unemployed and you are still a guardian with still your family, right? Or if you basically probably don't earn much money. It needs to be like this throughout the whole country. That's what the nurse told us, I think. I don't remember exactly, though. I need to have a talk with my mother about this. But basically, when I had to have my IV, because I was dehydrated, right? I was in the hospital for like 5 hours, I think. And then, I don't think my mother picked me up. She basically had called an Uber for me, right? Because she was working. Basically, I know how to pay for anything, which is great. Because, man, like, with the ambulance, that would have been 500 bones, and then with the IV and having my hospital bed, I don't know, I can't, like, Deon, you can't even imagine how much money you had to pay for. I can't imagine at all. And not to mention, it was a nice hospital room. It was. And I was watching Monsters, Inc. in Spanish, right? Just let you know, that's, like, where we're from, okay? We speak both languages. So, you understand, both, like, here in Phoenix, you would hear both English and Spanish, right? So, basically, I remember watching that, and the nurses, they actually just come to check back on me, and I don't want to ask for, like, any snacks or something, because I don't want to be greedy, you know, because I know I can get some nutrients or something, but no, right? Because other patients, they need that. And since I don't know how to pay for anything, I didn't want to ask for anything. I just, you know, was resting in a hospital bed until at least I feel a little bit healthier physically, like my kidneys functioning, right? And just having the IV. And it's just basically like a needle they stick on your arm. I don't have a phobia of needles. Yeah, it does hurt, like, it's like a bee sting, but other than that, like, it just stays, like, probably, like, near, let's just say, I gotta take off my outfit. It stays basically, like, in the line of your arm, right? I can't explain this part of your arm. I'm not sure if y'all can actually see this, but right here, right? That's where they actually had to stick the needle for my IV, which means they give you this liquid so that when you're dehydrated because you can't, like, really drink, I suppose. You know, you're body gets the nutrients so that it can actually function. If I actually got that right, I think it's called like vitals or something, right? At least from like what I watched on jail of a guy that basically was pissed off all those officers and had to tackle him down. I wanted it's like an Arizona word or something. I try to make our state as unique as possible here because I never heard that word before. Vitals, interesting. Basically medication, but we call it vitals, I guess. It is an actual word, but I never heard that before until I watched that video. So, oh man, I got like 4 minutes left. That's why the American healthcare is so corrupted. Because if you're in a car accident, right, or if you need like a medical emergency, you would reject help for it because you had to pay a lot of money for it. And you'd probably be dead broke and possibly, like, what happened to that homeless man, I can tell. He had like a tattoo on his neck. I saw that. I didn't want to bother him. You know, out on the streets. It's horrible. I mean, yeah, I did saw like a handful of homeless people, but it's like nothing too awful. Because it's the same homeless people, well, a couple that I saw somewhere, I think. It's awful seeing them on the street for months. I don't know how they survive and not starve to death. It's crazy. But I just wanted to share this because it happens out here. I mean, at least throughout the country that, you know, we don't want to ask for help. Or, you know, going to the hospital or something because hospital bills in American society is just... It's ridiculous. Like, I just want to say for you Europeans, at least maybe like Frenchies and Germans, especially Frenchies, you're lucky. Because here in the US, you're screwed. If you basically probably have like a broken leg, you ought to pay that $400 for the ambulance. That's what they told me when I basically had to, well, I wanted to save Francis because he had a concussion, right? He was laying on the darn ground. He got his identity stolen, everything. We had to pay $400 and also cost the street to the hospital. And not to mention, if you need like a bed or something, it adds up. It's ridiculous, right? And that's what I don't like about hospitals. And don't get me started mental hospitals. I can save a story for that later. So, you know, being an American, if you have like a mental illness or an injury, you're screwed. Pretty much. It's like Korean society. I actually heard about that. They are probably one of the most suicidal countries on earth. Probably like worst Asian country for mental health. It's ridiculous, right? Not to mention the working system's really high and oh gosh, it's like South Korea. I understand that. No wonder I can relate to them. But yeah, my breath's at 50%. But I just wanted to share this because no one got hurt. That's what's most important. But the thing is that to see that car accident, oh man, it was. I forgot. Actually, I didn't ask for the boy's name though. But the one that, you know, like says hi to me or whatever, and he's really sweet. He really is. Like, he gave me a hug before he left, you know, and then he biked back over there to see what's going on. Right? It just happened that fast. So, you know, I decided to delete like a couple of videos on my way back here. That's why you see me like walking upstairs and whatnot. But yeah, no one got hurt. At least, well, okay, they did, but not like seriously to the point they died. That's all that matters, honestly. But it feels awful that, because I think one of the men, or the man, right? It just happened so damn quickly. I know I seen him limping, and I don't think he probably asked for like, you know, the ambulance to the hospital, because I would. But you didn't have access. So that's how messed up our medical care is in the U.S. It's that bad. Like, you don't want to ask for help that way. Like, no, we're fine, right? Because if you do, then you got to pay a heavy hospital bill. It's ridiculous. It is. That's what the nurse told me. Like, oh, you know what? I forgot how much she said. She did say, like, the fire department told me that you got to pay $400 just for the ambulance alone. It's ridiculous. And I think we had to pay like another $1,000. I think, I don't remember exactly, but that's how corrupted our country is. You know, this is why so many of us do not want certain, like, health care, because we go broke for it. It's awful. It is. And I just want to let y'all understand that if you're not from the United States, okay, if you come here, please be aware. If you don't, like, have, like, a decent amount of income, then you're kind of screwed. If you're in a car accident or having, like, a mental illness, it's not great. Hashtag American problems.